Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man and it's time to make some soap. So as I mentioned last week, or last time I made soap, I'm going to be using a misbehaving fragrance. I have never used this before. It is Salty Mariner from Brambleberry. This one rices. I don't know how bad. It is to the point that Brambleberry says it's not recommended for cold process, although I think they do that so a new inexperienced soaper won't say, well, I'm never buying that again. I think most experienced soapers can usually deal with rising even if it's significant. We're going to find out. I don't mind rising if it's not too bad. Now the thing is, will accelerate. I don't know. It doesn't mention that. A lot of the reviewers said that they have used it in cold process. I've seen photos of people who've used it in cold process. I'm going to try it in cold process. So I've done a few things to mitigate a potential problem. First of all, I'm soaping at room temperature. There is no water discount. I'm using full water, so if I have to stick blend a little more to get the ricing blended out, hopefully I'll be able to. I'm going to be doing layers instead of swirls, so I'll be using 3 colors. Climb Blue from Nurture Soap is the bottom. Then for our mid layer, I'm using Brilliant Blue from Nurture Soap. And then for the top layer and lighter blue, I'm using Siren Song from Nurture Soap. And if this just cannot be blended out and it's just a big old glob on a stick, I have my crock pot behind us here heating up. I'll throw it all in the crock pot and blend it all together. So I'm using micas that blend in easily. I'm using all the same color, so if I had to throw it in the crock pot, it won't blend into some horrible, hideous color. Soaping at room temp, full water. Let's see how it goes. I'll be back in just a minute when I get this mixed up. All right, everything is split up and ready to go. So this will be our first layer. This is going to be the Climb Blue, and our bottom layer and our darkest layer. Once again, I'm only using micas because micas blend in easily, so I'll have minimal blending. So if I have to stick blend it a lot to counteract the ricing, that will give me some room to play, hopefully. That is a beautiful dark blue. Okay. And as always, when I'm pouring from the bottle, I know it's safe to use the whole bottle. This has a high skin safe use. I can use this entire bottle. So here we go. Moment of truth. How bad is it going to be? Let me go ahead and get this head on the stick blender ready. Have it there right beside me. Here we go. Pour about a third, or maybe about a quarter. And there it goes. Yep. And it's pretty bad, as stated. Okay, now. Okay, let's get this quickly into our mold. And I had planned for textured layers because I figured this would happen. So I don't have soap on a stick. It is thick, but it's workable. And I'm sorry I'm in the way. I'm kind of having to work fast. But this is kind of at a pudding trace, but it seems workable. So I think I'm going to be able to use this for cold process. So let me get this cleaned up, but that's kind of what I was wanting it to do. So actually, this to me is workable. So I am actually going to get a mica layer on that. Let me get my stick blender head cleaned off. We'll do our next layer. Okay, let's do our middle layer. I'm going to put, this is awfully close. No, it's not. Never mind. Just scrap that. This is our brilliant blue, which is just a shade lighter. I had multiple plans in mind in case, just trying to mitigate problems and having multiple plans as backup. So, but this I do believe is going to work. It's cold process. I think I can even do the piping because it really, once it thickens up, it stays at a piping consistency. So, let's put the second quarter in, get ready. The stick blender head is ready. So here we go with our second quarter. Get ready, because here it goes. It doesn't seem to rice, it seems like severe acceleration, because I'm not getting ricing. So let's quickly get this into our mold. I did go ahead and put the gold mica line on this. Because it seems like it gets to this pudding consistency and then seems to stay there. So it's quite thick, but it's workable. I just want to really tap that down though to make sure we don't have any air pockets, or have as few as possible if we do. Okay, let me get that mica dusted and we'll get to our next layer. Okay, time for our final layer before our frosting. This is our lightest blue, the Siren Song. I went ahead and pulled the plug on the crock pot because I'm not going to need to hot process this. To me, instead of ricing, this looks like acceleration. Ricing is where it has clumps that look like rice. This, to me, just seems to have severe acceleration, but then it gets to this pudding consistency and stops. That's not ricing. I'm not even going to stick with that. I'm going to get right in the mold. Or is it? I don't see any ricing in that. You know what? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I'm going to stick with it just a tad. Just a little. Yeah, I'm making a horrific mess, but I sort of expected it. Actually, stick blending, it loosened it up. Surprisingly. So believe it or not, this is going to have to sit for a couple of minutes because I don't want to try to put piping on top of that. But just probably by the time I get the next layer mixed up, it'll be ready. So far, it's working, and I'm getting to do my original plan. I'll be back with the frosting. Okay, it's time to cut our soap. So despite all the banging and pounding and shaking, got some air pockets, which I kind of thought I might. Love the color theme. I think the three colors look terrific. And I like the scent of this fragrance. So it's a bit hard to work with cold process. As stated by Brambleberry, my issue was acceleration. I think I would definitely use it again for hot process. Probably not for cold process. But it does smell good. I really like it. Now this is a little softer than usual because of the full water. But oh gosh, look at the inside. Really nice. Very, very nice. And a very prominent mica line. So actually, maybe I would use this again in cold process. Because man... You know, I think I take that back. I would do this again in cold process. Definitely in hot process. And I'm pretty sure this fragrance is going to hold because it's really strong right now. So I prepared for the worst, but actually got a really nice looking bar of soap after all. So Brambleberry doesn't recommend it for cold process. My take, if you're experienced and you have a good understanding of trace and how to work with a thick trace and not panic, it's workable. And ended up with a really good looking bar of soap. So I am really pleased with this. And of course, if you do it in hot process, it's definitely not an issue. And as far as the tobacco and bay leaf, oh my gosh, I love that one too. So that's another one that's definitely a keeper. Both of them smell fantastic. So that is what I have this week. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay safe, take good care of yourselves, and be blessed.